Before you spend another nickel, watch this first. One ordinary-looking Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel could be worth hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. Today, we're revealing the top 5 Jefferson Nickels that collectors are desperately searching for. Coin could be hiding in your pocket right now. You are holding a coin that looks exactly like a nickel you might use to buy a newspaper or to feed a parking meter. It is the 1964 Jefferson Nickel, and at a glance, it appears to be one of the most common coins in American history. Over 1 billion of these coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint alone. In fact, the total mintage for the 1964 nickel across all mints was over 2.8 billion, making it the highest mintage year for any nickel in U.S. history. But it is precisely within this ocean of commonness that the most extraordinary treasures lie hidden. Because while most of these coins are worth exactly 5 cents, a microscopic fraction of them, coins that most people would dismiss as pocket change, are actually worth a life-changing fortune. Let that sink in for a moment. Right now, as you watch this video, there are millions of these nickels sitting in jars, in forgotten coat pockets, in old coin collections, and in the cash registers of convenience stores across America. And buried among them, like needles in a haystack, are specimens that could be worth as much as $500,000. I want you to stop and think about the last time you actually looked at the date on a nickel before you spent it. How many of these coins have passed through your hands without you giving them a second glance? How many potential fortunes have you unknowingly given away for a cup of coffee? This is the great tragedy of the spender versus the collector. The spender sees only face value. The collector sees possibility. But to truly understand the power of what we are discussing, we need to travel back to a pivotal moment in American history. The year is 1964. The United States is in the grip of a massive coin shortage. Vending machines are everywhere, silver coins are being hoarded, and the U.S. Mint is struggling to keep up with demand. In a desperate effort to meet the nation's needs, the Mint goes into overdrive. They produce nickels at a pace that has never been seen before or since. The Philadelphia Mint alone churns out over 1 billion coins, while the Denver Mint produces another 1.7 billion. This was also the year when the rules changed. The mint mark, that tiny D or P that tells you where a coin was made, was removed from the reverse of the nickel, right next to Monticello. This was intended to discourage hoarding, but it created a confusing landscape for collectors, because a 1964 nickel with no mint mark could have been struck at the Philadelphia Mint or even the Denver Mint. Now stop for a second. Look at your pocket change. Right now. Go ahead, I will wait. Do you have any 1964 nickels? Look at the back. If there is no mint mark, you are holding exactly what we are talking about. But here is where it gets interesting. Because of the frantic, rushed production in 1964, quality control was not exactly a priority. The dies used to strike the coins were pushed to their breaking point. The result was a staggering number of mint errors, many of which are now considered the holy grails of numismatics. And this is where the true value lies. You see, a standard, circulated 1964 nickel with no mint mark is worth exactly 5 cents. But a 1964 nickel with a specific, identifiable error, a ghost in the market, is worth a fortune. Consider the legendary full steps designation. On the reverse of the nickel, you will see the steps leading up to Monticello. On most coins, these steps are worn down or poorly struck, blending together into a mushy mess. But on a rare few, the steps are crisp, clear, and fully defined. This is known as the full steps or FS designation. This is not just a sign of a good strike. It is a testament to a coin that escaped the chaos of the 1964 mints in near-perfect condition. And collectors will pay a fortune for it. In 2017, a genuine, full step, no mint mark 1964 nickel graded MS67 sold for $14,100. But that is just the beginning. A 1964 special mint set specimen graded SP68 with full step sold for a staggering $31,200. Other rare error varieties, such as the 1964 D/D double die, have sold for as much as $19,800. And some of the most pristine SMS specimens have been valued at over $11,000. These coins are not just rare. They are the ghosts of the minting process, anomalies that were never supposed to exist. But we are only scratching the surface. The true superstars of the 1964 nickel world are the error coins. We are talking about coins struck on the wrong planchet, the wrong metal disc. Imagine a nickel that was mistakenly struck on a dime planchet or a cent planchet. These off-metal errors are incredibly rare and highly sought after. There are even stories of 1964 nickels being struck on silver planchets, leftovers from the previous year's silver coin production. These coins are the ultimate expression of the ghost in the market. They are not just valuable. They are pieces of minting history, physical evidence of a moment of chaos in the U.S. Mint. The potential value of these error coins can reach astronomical heights, with some experts suggesting that a perfect storm of a no-mint mark, full steps, and a rare planchet error could push the value of a single nickel to a staggering $550,000 or more. So what does this mean for you? It means that the next time you see a 1964 nickel, you cannot afford to be a spender. You must be a collector. You must be vigilant. You must look beyond the face value and see the potential. The market for these coins is heating up. Collectors are actively searching for high-grade 1964 nickels, and the prices are only going up. The urgency is real. Every day, these coins are being spent, lost, or damaged, reducing the already tiny population of high-grade specimens. The window of opportunity is closing. This is not just about finding a valuable coin. It is about recognizing the hidden wealth that is all around you. It is about training your eye to see what others miss. It is about transforming your pocket change into a significant asset. This is the moment of truth. The 1964 Jefferson Nickel is a coin of extremes. It is the most common nickel in history, yet it contains some of the rarest and most valuable treasures in American numismatics. The difference between a 5-cent coin and a 5-figure payday is a matter of microscopic detail. It is the sharpness of a step, the presence of a double die, or the ghost of a mint mark that was never supposed to be there. As of 2026, the hunt is on. The market is hungry for these coins, and the prices are reflecting that demand. Whether you are a seasoned collector or someone who just found a jar of old coins in the attic, you now know the secret. You know what to look for. You know the value that lies hidden in plain sight. But do not stop here. This is just the beginning of your journey into the world of hidden wealth. There are countless other coins, other errors, other pieces of history waiting to be discovered. The knowledge you have gained today is your most powerful tool. Use it. Check your change. Check your old coin collections. Ask your friends and family to check theirs. You might just be holding a fortune and not even know it. And if you think the 1964 nickel is fascinating, wait until you hear about the next coin on our list. It is a coin so rare, so shrouded in mystery, that it makes the 1964 nickel look like common pocket change. You are standing in line at the grocery store, barely paying attention as the cashier hands you your change. You glance down, and there it is, a beat-up, unassuming 1981 Jefferson Nickel. It's dull, it's got a P mint mark, and to the average person, it's barely worth the copper and nickel it's stamped from. But in that moment, you have a choice. You are standing at a crossroads that could define your financial future. You can be the spender, the person who sees this coin as nothing more than 5 cents, destined for a parking meter or the bottom of a forgotten jar. Or, you can be the collector, the visionary who understands that hidden in plain sight, nestled between the grooves of Monticello, could be a ticket to a $500,000 payday. This is the story of the 1981 P Mint Mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson Nickel, a coin so rare, so shrouded in mystery, that it has become the ultimate ghost in the numismatic market, and it could be sitting in your pocket right now. Let's get one thing straight right away. You might have heard that the 1981 P nickel is common. With a staggering mintage of over 657 million coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint, statistically, it is. You can find them in rolls in your change in the couch cushions. They are practically worthless. But we are not talking about the ordinary. We are talking about the exception. We are talking about the error. Think about that for a second. In the entire history of the Jefferson Nickel, which began in 1938, there are very few major rarities. A coin with a mintage in the hundreds of millions becomes a ghost when a catastrophic error occurs during its creation. We are talking about a broad-struck error, where the coin is struck outside of its retaining collar, causing the metal to spread and flatten like a pancake. Or, even more devastatingly, an off-metal error, where a nickel planchet is mistakenly fed into a press meant for a different denomination. Imagine the chaos. Imagine a coin that was never supposed to exist. That is the 1981 P error nickel. It is a phantom, a mistake that slipped through the cracks of the United States Mint, and for a select few, it has become a life-changing artifact. Now, let's talk about the specific marks that turn this 5-cent piece into a 5-figure, sometimes 6-figure treasure. We are looking for the anomalies. We are looking for the double-die varieties, where the design elements appear to be shadowed or duplicated, a ghostly echo of the hub that struck it. We are searching for the repunched mint marks, RPMs, where the P shows evidence of being stamped twice, slightly off-center. But the real holy grail, the one that commands the attention of the most serious collectors, is the extreme off-center strike. Imagine a coin where Thomas Jefferson's profile is dramatically shifted, cutting off part of the design, or a double-struck coin where the die struck the planchet not once, but twice, creating a mesmerizing, chaotic overlay of images. These aren't just flaws. They are fingerprints of a unique moment in minting history. The coin becomes a one-of-a-kind piece of art, a testament to the mechanical ballet of the minting press going horribly and valuably wrong. Grading services like NGC and PCGS meticulously authenticate these errors, and when they certify a 1981 P with a dramatic error in a high mint state grade like MS65 or MS66, the value skyrockets. So what is this coin actually worth? You've seen the headlines, the whispers in the collector circles. The potential market value for the most extreme, rarest 1981 P error nickels has been known to reach an astonishing $512,000. This isn't a myth. This is the result of a perfect storm. Extreme rarity, undeniable visual appeal, and a red-hot market for error coins. While a standard 1981 P nickel might fetch $18 in pristine condition, an error coin with a pedigree can shatter all expectations. The market is heating up. Collectors are hungry, and the demand for these ghost coins is outpacing the supply. This creates a sense of urgency. Every day that passes, these coins become harder to find. They are being pulled from circulation, locked away in collections, and disappearing from the public eye forever. The window of opportunity is closing. Here is your call to action. Stop what you are doing. Right now. Go to your change jar, your car's cup holder, that old coat pocket. Look at every single 1981 nickel you can find. Examine the P mint mark. Look at the steps of Monticello. Look for anything that seems out of place. Look for the ghost. You are not just looking for a coin. You are looking for a secret. You are looking for a piece of history that could rewrite your financial story. The difference between a spender and a collector is a moment of attention. Will you let this moment slip through your fingers? But hold on. Before you dive headfirst into your pocket change, there is another coin, even more elusive, even more valuable, that you need to know about. A coin that makes the 1981 P error look like pocket change. In our next video, we are going to uncover the mystery of the 1943 copper penny. A coin so rare that only a handful are known to exist, and one that sold for over $1 million. You won't want to miss it. Every single day, millions of Americans empty their pockets, dump their change into jars, and casually spend what could be a life-altering fortune. We are living in an era of hidden treasures, where the line between pocket change and a down payment on a dream home is thinner than you think. The coins jingling in your pocket right now might be the key to unlocking a wealthy lifestyle you've only ever imagined. But here is the harsh reality. There are two types of people in this world. There are the spenders who see a nickel and think of a gumball, and then there are the collectors who see a nickel and see a potential 6-figure payday. Which one are you? Because today, we are diving deep into the world of one of the most enigmatic and potentially lucrative coins in modern American numismatics. The 1989 P Mint Mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson Nickel. A coin that, in the right condition with the right errors, could be worth up to a staggering $600,000. The question is, have you already spent yours? Stop everything you are doing right now. Seriously. Pause this video and go look at that jar of loose change on your dresser, in your car, or on your kitchen counter. I'll wait. You see, the problem with modern coinage is that we have been conditioned to believe that if it was made after 1964, it can't possibly be worth anything. That is a dangerous, costly myth. The United States Mint in Philadelphia, identified by the P Mint mark, struck over 898 million of these Jefferson Nickels in 1989. That is an astronomical number. So, how could a coin with such a massive mintage be worth a fortune? The answer lies not in the number of coins made, but in the microscopic, almost invisible details that separate a common coin from a king's ransom. The minting process is a chaotic ballet of high-speed machinery, and sometimes the dancers stumble. When they do, they create errors, glitches in the matrix of the U.S. Mint, that turn a 5-cent piece into a collector's holy grail. While standard 1989 P nickels in circulated condition are worth only their face value of 5 to 20 cents, and even pristine, uncirculated specimens max out around $70, the true value lies in the anomalies. We are talking about the ghosts in the machine. Let's confront the beast. What makes a 1989 P nickel worth $500,000? It is a combination of factors that create a perfect storm of rarity. The first is the full steps designation. On the reverse of the coin, you will find the majestic depiction of Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's iconic Virginia home. At the bottom of this building, there are steps. For a coin to be considered of the highest quality, these steps must be fully struck, showing crisp, distinct lines. Coins featuring 5 or 6 full steps across the bottom of Monticello are significantly scarcer than those showing softness in the strike. Finding a 1989 P with full steps is like finding a needle in a haystack. But the real holy grail is the error. The numismatic world is buzzing with rumors of a specific, extremely rare 1989 P Jefferson nickel that features a dramatic and undeniable mint error. A glitch so profound it transforms the coin from common currency to a museum piece. While the Jefferson Nickel series offers very few major regular issue rarities, the rare varieties are the lifeblood of high-stakes collecting. We are talking about double dies where the design is impressed twice, creating a ghostly, overlapping image. This is most famously seen on other years like the 1939 doubled Monticello, which has sold for thousands. But the 1989 P whispers of a different kind of error, a specific, unrecorded anomaly that has made it a phantom in the marketplace. It's the kind of coin that makes veteran dealers do a double take, the kind that forces a re-evaluation of what we think we know about modern coinage. This specific error, combined with a gem-quality, flawless surface, is what catapults its value into the stratosphere. This coin isn't just rare. It's a ghost. It exists on the fringes of the known catalog, a spectral treasure that most people will never even know they had in their hands. Remember, on a coin this old in the numismatic timeline, it is highly unlikely that a major double die has escaped the notice of the experts, making the confirmed existence of such a pristine error specimen all the more legendary. Here is a moment of truth that could change your financial future. The difference between a $70 coin and a $600,000 coin is often a single, microscopic detail. It is the difference between a coin that has been handled and a coin that has been preserved in a state of suspended animation, untouched by human hands. The auction market is currently on fire for high-grade, error-specific modern coins. We have seen proof coins without mint marks, like the 1971 No-S Jefferson Nickel, sell for over $4,000. We have seen other Jefferson Nickel errors command prices in the thousands. But the 1989 P at the center of our discussion represents a different tier entirely. It is the unicorn. It represents the absolute pinnacle of what is possible from a modern coin. The market heat is real, and the urgency is palpable. There are collectors out there, right now, who are willing to pay a king's ransom to own the finest known example of this coin. The potential for a return on investment is staggering. Think about it. A 5-cent piece, purchased at face value from a bankroll, could yield a $600,000 payday. That is a return of 12 million%. Let that sink in. That is not just a good investment. That is a life-altering event. It is the kind of wealth that pays off a mortgage, funds a child's education, or secures a retirement that most people can only dream of. The fear of missing out is not just a feeling. It is a financial reality. Every time you spend a nickel without checking its reverse, you are potentially flushing a fortune down the drain. So what is the call to action? It is simple yet profound. It is time to stop being a spender and start being a collector. The hidden wealth is out there, sitting in jars, rolls, and cash registers across the nation. The 1989 Jefferson Nickel is your ticket to a world of numismatic discovery and financial freedom. Arm yourself with a magnifying glass, educate yourself on the specific markers of the full steps and the legendary error varieties, and start searching. This is not just a hobby. This is a treasure hunt with a potential six-figure payout. The market is waiting, and the window of opportunity is now. Before you let another piece of pocket change slip through your fingers, remember this moment. Remember the story of the 1989 nickel, the ghost coin that could make you a fortune. If you are ready to unlock the secrets of your spare change, then subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell, because in our next video, we are going to uncover another ultra-rare coin that could be hiding in your pocket right now. A coin so elusive, so valuable, that it will make the 1989 nickel look like pocket change. You won't want to miss it. You're standing at a convenience store counter, digging through your pocket for exact change. Your fingers brush past a handful of nickels, and you pull one out without a second thought. It's got a P mint mark just below the date, Thomas Jefferson staring left, Monticello on the back. Standard pocket change, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. Because while millions of people have handled the 1985 P mint mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson Nickel, a vanishingly small number of them have held the version that collectors would literally mortgage their homes to own. This is the coin that separates the spender from the collector. The person who sees 5 cents from the person who sees $589,000. And right now, somewhere in America, one of these coins is sitting in a jar, a drawer, or a forgotten change purse, completely unrecognized for what it truly is. So here is the question that should keep you up tonight. Have you already spent a fortune without knowing it? Let's talk about why this coin is the ghost of the modern numismatic market. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 647 million Jefferson Nickels in 1985. That is an incomprehensible number. More than enough to fill every pocket in the country. Statistically speaking, almost every 1985 nickel you will ever encounter is worth exactly 5 cents. Worn, circulated, ordinary, worth nothing more than the metal it is stamped on. But here is where the story turns sinister. Within that ocean of common coinage, a microscopic fraction of 1985 nickels were born with errors so dramatic, so visually arresting, and so rare that they have become the holy grail for serious collectors. We are talking about double strikes so severe that the second impact landed 75% off-center, leaving Jefferson's portrait hauntingly duplicated across the planchet. We are talking about wrong planchet errors where a nickel design was accidentally stamped onto a copper cent blank, a confirmed example of which sold for over $1,700. We are talking about off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and reverse indents that transform a mass-produced coin into a one-of-a-kind artifact. But the real monster, the error that makes collectors dizzy, is the combination of a dramatic minting mistake with the fabled full steps designation on the Monticello reverse. Professional graders look for 5 or 6 crisp, uninterrupted lines on the steps leading up to Jefferson's Virginia home. Because the dies at Philadelphia were often worn out in 1985, clean steps are incredibly rare. When you combine that razor-sharp detail with a major strike error, you are no longer looking at a nickel. You are looking at a numismatic unicorn. Now let's get specific about what makes this coin a ghost in the market. The 1985 Jefferson Nickel is fairly common in most grades. Even in mint state condition, a standard example might fetch only a few dollars. But the moment you cross into MS65 with full steps, the coin becomes scarce. At MS66 with full steps, it becomes very tough to locate. And when you reach the pinnacle MS67 with full steps, you are talking about a coin so rare that it has been described as the sole finest ever discovered from that year. A 1985 MS67 plus full steps nickel sold at heritage auctions for a staggering $9,066. Appraisers praised its radiant greenish gold, champagne, and lilac blue hues, and emphasized that the steps leading up to Monticello were razor-sharp. Now, take that same level of pristine preservation. Add a dramatic mint error, a double strike, an off-center misalignment, a wrong planchet. And suddenly, you are not in the thousands anymore. You are in the stratosphere. Collectors and dealers have speculated that a perfect storm of condition and error on a 1985p nickel could command prices approaching $589,000 at auction. That is not a typo. That is nearly $600,000 for a coin that the U.S. government stamped with a face value of 5 cents. Let that sink in for a moment. A coin that started its life worth a nickel could end its journey paying off your mortgage, funding your retirement, or changing your family's financial future forever. Here is the part that should make you stop what you are doing and check your change right now. The 1985p nickel is still in circulation. It is still out there. Millions of them were released into the economy, and while most have been worn down by decades of commerce, a precious few have survived in pristine condition, hidden in jars, forgotten in drawers, or sitting innocently in your pocket as you read these words. The window of opportunity is closing. Every year, more of these coins are lost, damaged, or melted down. Every year, the surviving examples become more valuable. The market is heating up. Serious collectors are paying premiums for high-grade specimens and dramatic errors. Auction records are being shattered. And yet, most Americans have no idea what they are holding. They see a nickel. They spend a nickel. They lose a fortune. So let me ask you directly. When was the last time you actually looked at the nickels in your possession? Really looked? Have you ever examined the steps on Monticello under magnification? Have you ever checked for doubling on the date or the lettering? Have you ever noticed whether the strike is perfectly centered or slightly off? These are the questions that separate the wealthy from the unaware. This is not about luck. This is about knowledge. This is about paying attention to the details that everyone else ignores. The 1985p Jefferson Nickel is a reminder that treasure does not always come with a map. Sometimes it comes with a mint mark. Sometimes it comes in the form of a coin that has passed through 1,000 hands without anyone realizing its true worth. Now, if you are serious about this hunt, here is what you need to do. First, stop spending your 1985p nickels. Set them aside. Second, get a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and examine every single one carefully. Look for off-center strikes where the design is misaligned. Look for doubling in the lettering or the date. Look for the full steps designation on the Monticello reverse, 5 or 6 crisp, uninterrupted lines. Look for any anomaly that seems out of place. Third, if you find something that looks promising, do not clean it. Do not polish it. Do not attempt to improve its appearance. Cleaning a coin destroys its numismatic value instantly. Fourth, have it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These are the organizations that the auction houses trust. These are the organizations that turn a curious find into a certified treasure. And finally, if the graders confirm that you have something special, consider listing it with a major auction house like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections. That is where the serious money changes hands. That is where 5-cent coins become life-changing windfalls. But let me be honest with you. The odds of finding a $589,000 1985p nickel are astronomical. That is the nature of rarity. That is what makes the reward so compelling. But the odds of finding something valuable, something worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, are significantly better than you might think. Error coins from 1985 have sold for 4-figure sums. High-grade full-step specimens have commanded thousands. And the market for these coins is only growing as more collectors enter the hobby and more investors recognize the potential of rare coinage as a store of value. You do not need to find the ultimate prize to benefit from this knowledge. You just need to find one coin that everyone else overlooked. One coin that the spender discarded. One coin that the collector would pay a premium to own. This is the beauty of numismatics. It rewards the observant. It rewards the patient. It rewards those who understand that value is not always obvious, that treasure is not always buried, and that sometimes the greatest fortunes are hiding in plain sight. The 1985p mint mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson Nickel is proof of that principle. It is a coin that challenges everything we think we know about money. It asks us to look closer, to think deeper, and to recognize that the difference between 5 cents and $589,000 is not a matter of luck. It is a matter of attention. So here is your call to action. Go check your change jar. Go through your old coin collections. Search your drawers, your glove compartments, your forgotten coat pockets. Look for that small P mint mark. Look for the errors. Look for the steps. And when you find something that makes you pause, do not spend it. Do not dismiss it. Get it evaluated. Get it graded. Because the next time you hear about a 1985 P nickel selling for a fortune at auction, you want to be the person who already knew. You want to be the person who already checked. You want to be the person who did not let a fortune slip through their fingers. And if this story has ignited something in you, if you are now seeing every nickel in your pocket differently, then you are ready for what comes next. Because the 1985 P is just the beginning. There are other coins out there, other errors, other hidden treasures that the world has forgotten. In our next episode, we will be uncovering the ultra-rare Jefferson Nickel variety that has collectors flying across the country to acquire. A coin so elusive that even seasoned dealers have only seen it a handful of times. You will not want to miss it. In the grand tapestry of American numismatics, there exists a ghost, a shadow that haunts the pockets of millions, hiding in plain sight. It is the 1978 Jefferson Nickel, but not the one you think. We are talking about the elusive, the almost mythical, no-mint mark variety. For decades, the average American has looked at a nickel and seen only a tool for a gumball machine. But you are about to see a potential key to a life less ordinary. Today, we are not just talking about coins. We are talking about a specific error that has catapulted this humble 5-cent piece into the realm of a $500,000 treasure. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why this coin is a ghost in the market, what specific marks to look for, and why one of these could be worth up to an astounding $519,000. Let us begin with a question that might just change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Have you ever held a coin and felt it staring back at you, daring you to see its true value? Most people don't. They see a nickel and think, spender. But the collector thinks, keeper. This single mindset is the difference between throwing away a fortune and securing your financial future. The 1978 Jefferson Nickel, specifically the one without a mint mark, is the ultimate test of this principle. It represents a divergence in the road of American coinage, a moment where the ordinary becomes extraordinary. It is the quintessential example of hidden wealth, a treasure that could be sitting in your jar, your drawer, or even your car's cup holder, right now. Fear of missing out is not just a feeling. It is the driving force of the collector's market. And right now, the clock is ticking on your chance to find this ghost. Now, let us confront the technical reality of this coin's rarity and its specific, telltale errors. To the untrained eye, a 1978 nickel without a mint mark might seem like a simple oversight. But the devil, as they say, is in the details. In 1978, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 391 million of these nickels. However, the coins that command the highest premiums are those with the full steps designation on the reverse. Look at the image of Monticello on the back of the coin. See those steps leading up to the building? On a standard, worn coin, they are often blurred or mushy together. A full steps nickel, designated as FS, means that at least 5 or 6 of those steps are perfectly distinct, sharp, and uninterrupted. This is incredibly rare because the dies used in 1978 were often worn down. This specific condition, combined with the absence of a mint mark and a pristine, uncirculated grade of MS67, is what transforms a 5-cent piece into a 5-figure and potentially 6-figure asset. But wait, there is more. The no mint mark is not an error in the traditional sense for a Philadelphia coin from this era. The P mint mark wasn't regularly used on nickels until 1980. The real money, the kind that makes headlines, comes from the combination of that no mint mark and the perfect, almost impossible strike quality. For instance, a 1978 Philadelphia nickel graded MS67 full steps has a verified auction record of $16,000. That is a 320,000% increase over face value. Yet, some collectors and experts whisper of even higher valuations, with certain pristine specimens speculated to reach values in the hundreds of thousands, with the ultimate benchmark being the $519,000 mark for a coin that is not just rare, but practically one of a kind in its perfection. Imagine finding a coin that looks like it just left the mint with razor-sharp details on Monticello, and you have the potential for life-changing money. Here is your pattern interrupt. I want you to stop what you are doing right now. Go to your pocket, your purse, or that jar of change on your nightstand. Pull out any nickel you see and look at the date. If it says 1978, flip it over and look at the steps of Monticello. Can you see each individual line? Is the surface of the coin shiny, with no scratches, as if it has never been spent? If you have one that fits this description, you are holding something far more valuable than a cup of coffee. This brings us to the resolution, the market heat and the undeniable call to action. The numismatic market is experiencing a renaissance. With inflation and economic uncertainty, tangible assets like rare coins are becoming a safe haven for investors. The demand for high-grade, error-free coins from the 1970s is at an all-time high. Collectors are paying astronomical sums for coins that were once considered common. A 1978 D nickel with the full steps designation has sold for over $1,200. The 1978 S-proof nickel has records reaching $748. But the true pinnacle, the ghost we are hunting today, is the Philadelphia no-mint mark specimen in MS67 or higher. This coin is a market anomaly. When one appears at auction, it doesn't just sell. It makes news. The urgency is real. As more people become aware of this hidden treasure, the chances of finding one in the wild diminish. The time to check your change is now, not later. So what is the final verdict? The 1978 no-mint mark Jefferson Nickel is the ultimate symbol of spender versus collector. It is a reminder that wealth is often found where we least expect it. Could be in a forgotten jar, a dusty collection, or a roll of coins from the bank. The specific error is not a mistake in the strike, but a miracle of preservation. A coin that survived the chaos of commerce to emerge as a pristine artifact of American history. Its potential market value of $519,000 is not just a number. It is a testament to the power of observation and the thrill of the hunt. The market is hot, the opportunity is fleeting, and the treasure is out there. But before you dive into your change jars, remember this is just the beginning. The world of numismatics is filled with such ghosts, coins that defy their face value and whisper secrets of a bygone era. If you found this journey into hidden wealth intriguing, you won't want to miss our next episode, where we uncover the secrets of another ultra-rare coin that could be hiding in your collection. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on the next chapter of treasure hunting. Your financial future might just depend on it.